Chanchal ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah, Induji.
Okay, okay.
Can you share your video also for check?
Acha, okay. Fine.
Looking
Okay.
for you.
Worthy Registrar Sir has also joined. Sir, we welcome you, and we are waiting for the chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir. As in when he will join, we will start the program.
Namaskar ji.
Thank you, sir.
IT team, please unmute Worthy Registrar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir? Prof. Saab, I think we should start the program. Meanwhile, Visa will join us.
Yes, sir. We can do that.
Yes, sir. We can start the program, and somewhere midway, Honorable Vice Chancellor will join us. Chanchal, madam.
Ji sir. Namaskar sir. All the participants, most welcome in the valedictory session. Now I would like to request Dr. Indu for a formal start.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Indu Singh, Assistant Professor at Shri Vishwakarma Skill University. I extend a very warm welcome to the chief guest of honor, dignitaries, resource persons, deans, faculty members, staff, and participants from SVSU and other institutions. Our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to everyone for their online presence at the valedictory session of 1 week AICTE sponsored FDP on leadership and governance in academic institutes. I welcome you all. To seek the divine blessings of God and bring in prosperity, knowledge, and wisdom, let us commence this program with a virtual lamp lighting. Kindly display the slide, please. Shubham karoti kalyanam arogyam dhan sampada shatru buddhi vinashaya deep jyoti namostate. Thank you for displaying the slide. Moving ahead, I now cordially invite Professor Rishipal, Dean, Faculty of Pedagogy and Capacity Building, Shri Vishwakarma Skill University, to formally welcome the esteemed dignitaries and guests and give a brief presentation report of the 1 week FDP. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Indu. Thank you very much. And really, it is matter of pleasure and happiness. The organizing team as well as participants were rigorously involved for the last 5 days. Daily, we have been having 3 sessions. And Sri Vishwakarma Skill University, under the aegis of it's one of very new faculty, it's the skill faculty of pedagogy and capacity building, with the sponsorship of All India Council for Technical Education under the platform of Atal, started 1 week workshop faculty development program from 21st February, and today is the last day. And we have been having a round of sessions, and among these sessions, renowned academicians, renowned educationists, and renowned administrator visited the workshop and shared their experiences and knowledge. And by doing all that, today we have reached it to its valedictory session. And in this valedictory session, first of all, I welcome the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Raj Nehru ji, who is chief guest of this program. We welcome you, sir, and it was your vision. As a result of your brainchild, we could develop, devise, organize this program. We are really thankful as well as you. We welcome you. VC Saab has been flying from Delhi to Chandigarh, and he has already landed, and he has shared with me that just in few moments he's joining us. So even in his absentia, we welcome him, and as and when he will join us, we will report to the participants. So we welcome you, sir. We welcome the Honorable Registrar, sir, Sri Vishwakarma Skill University, for his unconditional, at every step, support in planning, designing, execution, resources provision, and everything. And it is not only for this program, or whatever program we organize. He is always helpful. He is always supportive. He will always come forward, and whatever kind of support at 11th hour, at 12th hour, during the program, or at any time, he is always supportive. And as a result of that, we could organize this workshop successfully. We welcome you in this program, sir, as guest of honor. I welcome Dr. Manu K. Voraji in his absentia, who is member of AICT, NEP 2020 Implementation Plan Committee. He is also expert peer reviewer of AICT, and specifically he is peer reviewer of AICT in this program also. We welcome you, sir. And he chairman and president of Business Excellence from America. So we welcome you, sir, for your kind support and the regular watch on this program. As a result of that, we could organize this program effectively, properly. I welcome all my fellow deans, Professor Jyoti Rana, Professor Suresh, Professor Nirmal, Professor Ashish ji, Professor Ranjit Singh ji, for their participation, involvement, and support in organization and execution of this activity. I also welcome all the professors, chairpersons, associate professors, assistant professors from my university, as well as the participants from different universities. It is because of support of my faculty as well as support of all the participants, this venture could reach to the level of success, level of completion as a as a reason of support from the participants. I welcome all of you in this session. I welcome the organizing team members, Dr. Mohit, Madam Chanchal, Dr. Indu, Pallavi, Deepika, and many more. And not only that, I also welcome the IT team members. This venture could be accomplished as a result of regular support by Dr. Ravinder, Mr. Praveen, Mr. Rahul. They are rigorously supporting us in execution of this program on this online platform. So I welcome all of you in this program. Now coming to the second part of my assignment, and that is a brief report on this workshop. Sri Vishwakarma Skill University is the first skill university of India, and it is headed by one of the most dynamic voice chancellor, one of the most dynamic and youngest voice chancellor, Professor Raj Nehruji. And his vision is to cater and provide that kind of skill to the youth so that the industry's need can directly be addressed. And to execute this objective, to actualize this vision or goal, my honorable vice chancellor has created a new faculty in this university, and this faculty is Faculty of Pedagogy and Capacity Building. I am dean of this faculty, and my job is to observe, to identify the university level training needs, the faculty level training needs, and the individual level training needs. My job is to prepare the training card, and after preparing the training card, what kind of training is necessary for a particular teacher, for a particular faculty, for a particular department, and yes, as a whole for university. For the information of all the participants, I want to share that parallelly, presently, 3 or 4 different training programs are going on from the grassroots level of human resource to the top level. My honorable vice chancellor is never hesitant to attend any kind of training program himself also. He will always motivate, he will always discuss, he will always brainstorm what else can be done to the human resource of the university so that we can bring the university in the direction of vision, what I was talking in the beginning. So this faculty is doing that. Under this faculty, we are not catering to the faculty member and staff of my university only. We are catering to the staff, faculty member, academic people from other universities also. And we are organizing many programs where the faculty members from my university as well as from other universities are participating. And very interestingly, I want to share that in this workshop, majority, nearly more than 90% of the participants are from other universities, and these participants are of level starting from dean to the assistant professor. So this university, my faculty are trying to brush up, are trying to hone the skill of academia and administrative staff of universities so that better facilities can be created, better services can be catered to the student to groom and develop them as per need of the market. In the sequence of all these programs, this 1 week program was organized with the financial support, with the complete financial support of AICT. And this workshop is going on for the last 1 week. We started it from the Monday, and it was inaugurated by Professor B.K. Puthialaji, who is chairman of Haryana State Higher Education Council, Panchkula, and he delivered his talk on the topic Leadership and Governance in Academic Institutions, which is the title of this workshop also. And he shared his views and vision, and that who would be really helpful to the participant as well as the people, those who are part of the organizing team, to develop better leaders and to be well equipped with the governing strategies so that the educational institutions can be made better functional. And then in the second session of first day, I myself was taking one session, and the session was to brief about the various concepts of leadership, governance, management, administration, and various procedure and process of all these different concepts like leadership, governance, management, and administration. And then thereafter, in the third session, Dr. Vinay Nangiaji, who is former professor of IIT Roorkee, he was talking about challenges and problems in academic administration. If we will not understand the challenges and problems, it is not possible to become an effective leader and to develop the effective strategies for governance. So this third session was devoted to that. On the second day, Professor B.P. Sharma ji, who is former Vice Chancellor of Gautam Buddha University, Noida, and he addressed on the topic academic administration in higher education. And this was really a fruitful and value-adding and enlightening session. And after that, in the second session, Professor Kuldeep Agnihotriji, who is former Vice Chancellor of Central University, Himachal Pradesh, Shimla, and he was talking about policies, programs, and schemes which are necessary for the governance among higher educational institutions. So he deliberated on this topic, and in the last session of second day, Dr. Surakshit Goswami ji, he was talking about developing leadership skills among higher educational institutions. He is basically the Chief Spiritual Officer of Times of India, and he shared not only the leadership capability or competencies, he also shared with us certain health related, because it is necessary that a leader should be sound by mind, by body, by physique, and all that. So he took that session on that topic. On third day, Dr. K.G. Sureshji, who is Vice Chancellor of Makhanlal Chaturvedi Mass Communication University, Bhopal, and his topic was administration and governance in higher education institutions. He deliberated by taking examples from international level to the national level and from all different diverse aspects of academia. In the second session on third day, Professor R.S. Rathorji, who is present as guest of honor today, he is registrar of my university, Sri Vishwakarma Skill University, and he shared extensively about role of leadership and governance among skill and technical education students. Present day, one of the crises is that lot many people are having educational qualifications, but they are not competent and well skilled, and resultantly they are not acceptable for employability. So blending of skill has become a mandatory part of education. And Professor R.S. Rathorji comprehensively shared about the role of leadership, how skill can be inculcated, and what would be the consequences if we will bring the skilled, competent, and proficient people, and how much helpful it would be to the industry. In the third session of third day, Dr. Hanif Qureshi ji, who is IPS and Inspector General of Police from Haryana, he has extensive experience of general administration, police administration, as well as he is a person from academia. He is having versatile qualifications and he is rigorously involved in the academic administration. So he was invited to deliberate on challenges of administration and governance among higher educational institutions. And he justified what role was given to him, and he gave a number of insights and enlightening issues for the participants as well as the people attending it. And on the fourth day, Sri Anant Prakash Pandey, who is MD HSDM Haryana Skill Development Mission Haryana, and he is an IRS officer also, he is also having extensive experience in the field of skill education. So he deliberated on the topic developing skill ecosystem and leadership among higher educational institutions. And his interaction after completion of session with the participant was excellent and value adding. After this first session on the fourth day, the second session was conducted by Professor Jyoti Rana, who is Dean Academics of my university, Sri Vishwakarma Skill University. And she was talking about the role of various stakeholders. If we will not understand the role of student to the government, there are various stakeholders, and she was talking comprehensively about all different stakeholders and what role and how those roles should be played so that the academic institution can be made best. And on the same day of fourth day, the last session was taken by Professor K.M. Pathi. He is adjunct faculty in one of the IIIT Delhi, and his topic was value-driven leadership and excellence in higher education institutions. And his session was so much interactive, hardly he would have left anyone with whom he didn't interact. And it was really value-adding, and it was really value-driven leadership learning session for all. So this was the last session for the second last day, and today was a kind of Purnahuti, and my honorable Vice Chancellor Sri Raj Nehruji, and he took up the topic prospects of leadership and governance as per NEP 2020. I want to share that he started with the evolutionary process of education, how education came into existence, and how wonderful education system in India was, and swiftly what was contribution of education system in the economic development, and what kind of contribution India had been contributing in the past, and gradually what happened, and how we devastated our system, and now what are the challenges, problems, and what should be done to the various leaders like dean, professors, and others, so that again India could be brought to the level of best academic system. It was really wonderful session and enlightening and eye-opening session for all of us. And the last session of today was delivered by Professor P.B. Sharma ji, who is Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Manesar, Haryana. And he took his topic on dimensions of effective leadership and governance. I'm very happy to share that he had been my previous Vice Chancellor, and he left hardly any aspect of education which he didn't touch, starting from your curriculum, co-curriculum, extracurriculum, research, administration, then in that the various kind of sociological, psychological, political, technological, all different aspects were touched. And yes, of course, he didn't forget to talk about the technology, and he exhibited a number of things, how good institutions are working in the field of research, in the field of patents and all that. And by doing this way, lastly, we have reached to this last session, that is valedictory session, which is not last, but a kind of blessing session. And again, I welcome all my honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Raj Nehru ji, as chief guest of this session, Professor R.S. Rathore ji, worthy registrar of Sri Vishwakarma Skill University, as guest of honor, and all the participants who are listening to me. I again welcome you and thank you. I am really thankful to all of you, because after that there will be no chance to me to speak. I am expressing my heartfelt thanks to all the participants. They were patient enough. They were very decent, and they cooperated like anything. And as a result of that, we could organize this program wonderfully. It is all because of support of the participants, organizing team, IT team, and people whose name I could not take, all have supported. So I welcome them as well as convey my thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for presenting a successful report of the event and being its torchbearer. Without a further ado, let's welcome and invite the guest of honor of today's event, Professor R.S. Rathore, Registrar and Professor of Policy Planning and Research at Sri Vishwakarma Skill University. Professor Rathore has also worked as Director, Skill Development at AICTE for around 9 years. He was a member of the government delegation which visited USA, China, and Sri Lanka to study the vocational and technical education systems of these countries, and also participated in the 45th World Skills Competition in Kazan, Russia in 2019. Sir is also a member of various committees in AICTE, UGC, and NSTA, and AICTE nominee in various bodies such as NCVT, DGT, MSDE, NSQF Committee NILIT, and others. Professor Rathore is a life member of Indian Desalination Association and Indian Society for Technical Education, New Delhi. Kindly address the audience, sir, and give your valedictory remarks. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Indu.
Yes, sir.
Honorable
Welcome.
Vice Chancellor, the chief guest of this valedictory function, the coordinator of this faculty development program, Professor Rishipal, all the deans of university, the whole organizing team. First of all, thanks once again for giving me this opportunity to be part of valedictory function event of this FDP. I would also like to extend thanks to AICTE for trusting on the proposal submitted by Professor Rishipal to arrange a faculty development program on leadership and management for the higher educational institution. As just briefed about the program by Professor Rishipal, I'm sure the entire program must have been added a lot of values to all the participants, especially whosoever is planning to take any administrative job or the leadership job in the academic institution. Because the variety of experts who are present and who share their experience, I would say, that was unmatched at all. Because a lot of former vice chancellor, the existing vice chancellors, then the extremes, means the spiritual leaders. So a diversified group was taking the sessions, and all those experience, I'm sure, will be very useful whenever you will be having any leadership position in any academic institution. So once again, I would just briefly say that all of us who are present on this platform, we have a very specific, very important role and responsibility to play, because we are in the state when the national education policy is about to be implemented, and that is at the implementation stage. After so many years, means the last policy came in 1986, and then now in 2020, this new policy has seen the day of light. And a lot of reforms, a lot of transformations are talked in this policy. And definitely, all the academic leaders will be instrumental in one way or other in implementing this policy. And I'm sure the implementation of this policy will definitely help in removing a lot of challenges which we are discussing or which we are forcing in the higher educational system. I'm sure that during this 1 week workshop, you might have got answers that in coming time, how as an academic leader, you can take up the challenges which is being witnessed in the higher education system, and especially due to the intervention of the technology. As in my inaugural session, I said that there are many challenges, but at the same time, the new education policy has given us the solution in terms of implementation. So quickly, again, I would touch upon one or 2 points that recently UGC has given approval to around 1,000 institutes to offer the online programs, and all online degree programs especially. And all these institutions are the top-notch institution of the country, means ranking under 100 in NRF ranking, NAC accreditation on the top side of the accreditation, means these 1,000 institutions are there to offer the online degree program. We have witnessed that IIT Madras has successfully launched and running a BSc program, that is an undergraduate 3-year degree program in data science. And it was informed that around 12,000 students are already enrolled in that program. Honorable Prime Minister has also announced opening of the digital university. And during his address, he mentioned that this digital university will cater the need of the persons or the experts in a specific area, or the digital university will train the persons in a specific area wherever there will be a demand, and there will be no restriction on the numbers that how many candidates or how many students will be trained in that particular area. So what it means is that if there will be quality, then only there is a survival of institute. So in whichever, wherever we are teaching, we are leading institution, the far more important, the critical aspect would be the quality. And how to achieve that quality parameter, I'm sure that all the deliberations in the all of us. I'm sure that the feedback which you will give for this program, that will also help us, that will also help our university in further refining this type of the programs, so that the exact need of the participants can be addressed in any future program which will be city. So with all this, all the best. Thanks
PPT
for participating in this
आज भेजी है मैंने, आज भेजी है
development program.
मैं व्हाट्सएप पे भेज रहा हूँ, दीपिका के व्हाट्सएप पे भेज रहा हूँ मैं.
To the organizers for giving me this opportunity to express my point of view in this valedictory session also. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir, for being with us today and inspiring the audience with your words.
Honorable Vice Chancellor had joined. We welcome you, sir. Actually, we started the program because your flight has not landed. So, with the permission of Registrar, sir, we started the program. And, sir, we welcome you in this program, and it is because of your support, your visionary support, your support in designing of this program, and everywhere. For the last 5 days, we could organize this program successfully, And just because already I have given the detailed report about this workshop, but just for your kind information, sir, that 6 vice chancellors, 1 registrar, and IPS, IRS officers, deans, and senior professors from IIT and renowned institutions were resource person for this particular workshop. And it was really enlightening and value adding, not only for the participants, it was value adding to the organizing team also, because I am attending all the sessions for the last. And specifically, if I talk about today's sessions in the morning, whatever was shared by my honorable vice chancellor as well as the chancellor of MIT University, it was really the Purnahuti in the Yagna, which was going on for the 5 days. So thank you, sir, for joining, even being so much hectic of your program. You are joining us for the second time. This is really kind of honor to us. So thank you for joining, as well as we welcome. Chanchal madam, over to you. Continue the program.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite the chief guest of today's event, Shri Raj Nehru, who left the corporate world and became the youngest founding vice chancellor in the country, and who has been appointed as the VC of Shri Vishwakarma Skill University. Apart from this role, he has also been appointed as the director, Board of Haryana State Electronics Development Corporation Limited. UGC has appointed him as a member on formation of implementation plan for National Education Policy 2020. Sir was also the mission director, Haryana Skill Development Mission. VC Sir is the recipient of Innovative Leader Award, Brick of Change Award, Neelkant Samman 2019, Hall of Fame, Skills Leadership Award 2020, and Most Inspiring Vice Chancellor Award. He is also on the board and committees of various organizations, including AICTE, UGC, MSTE, steering committee under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, including others. Not just this, Sir is also an active philanthropist and is also the founder of Utsav Foundation that skills and educates underprivileged children. It's a privilege to have you with us today, sir. You're most humbly invited.
Thank you. Once again, second time in the day, I think, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are.
So it's really a privilege because it's also a music to ears when you hear getting introduced twice in a day. I think it's really a satisfying feeling for me today that you have to have that elaborate introduction of me twice. Thank you. It's very difficult to step into the shoes of our Honorable Education Minister, who was supposed to be the chief guest of the program. And I'm doing my duty to fit myself in his shoes, which is very difficult. But I will still try to do justice, because Rishipalji mentioned to me that I must come and log in for some time. I'm in the car right now, moving from airport to the CM residence for the meeting. So in case there is any disruption, please bear with me for that. Today's program, as I was also hearing Professor Rathore, and I was looking at the entire itinerary that you have prepared for these 6 days, is really exciting. And I covered some of the aspects that I was asked to cover in the morning. But net, the leadership, again, we circle back at the same point that these programs are very important for the development of leaders. And I do not agree with the opinions that the leaders are only the vice chancellors or the senior deans, or that's a misnomer. To me, everyone is a leader, and when I say everyone is a leader, it means everyone has a circle of influence in the work, in the scope of work, in the area of work that one performs. Even if it is a security personnel standing at the gate, he or she also has a circle of influence in the scope of his or her work. And that scope of work gives him and or her a scope for demonstrating leadership behaviors, influencing behaviors, collaborative behaviors, innovative behaviors, thinking of future, how he or she can perform his role or her role well, that will serve the end customer in a more satisfying and gratifying manner. So please bear in this mind, whatever role you are playing, whichever level you are in the organization, whatever tasks have been assigned to you, you have a great chance of demonstrating leadership behaviors. I'll give an example. I have been traveling to many countries. I had that opportunity to serve in Philippines for some time when before I came to this government organization. I give an example. In Philippines, when we saw a lot of voice business getting shifted to Philippines, because India was becoming the hub of the voice business, because English language was getting transferred to India, because India had the strength of speaking English. So most of the multinational companies around the world used to outsource their business to India, and India's BPO market had significantly grown. Salaries were exuberant, and a lot of money was flowing in India. And at that time, the Philippines, which was once a colony of America, had also started working on a similar philosophy, and they developed their market to a great extent. And their cost of doing the business was little and much lesser than what India was doing. I'm telling you about the year 2010 to 2015. During that time, we saw in India a lot of business moving to Philippines, and India's share of the voice BPO market was coming down. So the business was going to the Philippines. I had a chance to go and work in Philippines because we set up our new business center in Philippines, in Manila. You know what was happening in Manila? The business was ramping up, but the resources there in Philippines, the biggest challenge with the resources there was they were very linear in their functions. I'm not typecasting any or becoming judgmental about any culture, but what actually happens in Philippines is the personality, the leadership qualities among the youngsters there is terribly missing. They are very good at delivering what is being directed to them, and they can exactly do what they are told to do. But when it comes to the scope of thinking, innovating, doing creative stuff, they lack significantly. You know what happened? Because of this reason, the Philippine business model started crumbling down, and then the business in the Philippines required leaders. And you know which was the country which actually provided the leadership in Philippines? It was India. So we had to export many successful business leaders from India, HR leaders from India, to go to Philippines and curate the leadership there. And today, if you go to Philippines, you will see so many Indians in Philippines occupying the leadership positions. That happens to every area of work that we are today. Same is with the education. In education, when you are inside the campus, if you are not demonstrating adequate leadership behaviors, adequate leadership qualities, thinking qualities, the time will come when the quality of our delivery that we are giving from the educational institutions will move out to some more better and competitive places. You will see the share of the educational institutions between the two institutions will also start dwindling, and students may want to prefer to do education in some other places. So that is the reason why I always insist that everyone in an educational institution has a role to play as a leader. Remember, there was a time when in India, ancient day times, we used to have gurukuls and we used to have gurus, and gurus used to be the most inspiring people sitting in front of the disciples. But the difference today and at the ancient India is gurus in olden days were highly spiritual, highly inward, and they could create the knowledge inside and then share with the people. So they were more about knowledge sharing with the disciples, and that made them to get the most respectable position in the society at that time. Today, the guru is not a dispeller of knowledge. Today, the guru has become the dispeller of information. But unfortunately, we have entered into an age where information is cheaply available all around, and the access to that information is very easy with every student, because the advancement in the technology has made the information handily available. So the probability of today's teacher as seen as a guru's dispelling knowledge has actually gone down, unless the today's teacher rebuilds, reconstructs, reworks, remakes the structure of his or her delivery to the students. And that can only happen when when a teacher today acts like a leader. And when I say acting like a leader, is some of the key traits. I'm not getting into the detail, but I must say this, that unless a teacher is passionate about their work, a teacher cannot demonstrate the leadership qualities. And when I say passion, it doesn't mean passion only that I want to do the work. The passion must be represented through actions, and the actions can be, learning new things, embracing the challenge, getting the new information, understanding the markets, what is happening, where my students will have to go and hit the market tomorrow, understanding the dynamics and the changes there, and then bringing them all together and finding out what I as a teacher need to learn, unlearn, and relearn, so that I am able to deal with that issue, that topic, in such a manner that enhances the quality of and the development of the student. So whether you work as a dean or a department head, or being a faculty or a teacher or anyone, you need to be passionate about your work, and you can only enjoy your work as long as you are passionate about it. The second thing is, as a leader, you have to lead by examples, and being a good leader means setting a good example for others. Your actions and your behaviors as a leader should inspire and motivate whether all your people who are around you, whether they are your peers, they are your direct reportees, they are your seniors, or they are people working in other departments. And that can only happen when what you say, you do that. We call it do what you say and say what you do. So another thing I feel is the collaboration part of the leadership quality of a teacher or an individual in an educational institution. So how you collaborate today, as I said in the morning also, the education models are crumbling. The conventional education models are crumbling. We thought mechanical engineering was great, electrical engineering was great, or computer engineering was great. Those all models are getting disrupted. Management models are getting disrupted. Here, humanities, we are seeing so much of change. The conventional philosophies are getting disrupted, and emergence of new education models are emerging. Like new education policy talks about the hybrid learning, it talks about the integrated learning, it talks about the multidisciplinary learning, it talks about the interdisciplinary learning. Unless the faculties act as leaders, get up from their table and move to the other departments and find out what collaborations can be made together to make the delivery that you have envisioned more competitive, that suits the narrative of the coming days, I think that will otherwise not make individual a great leader. So developing the strong connections is very, very important, and the most effective leaders have the ability to develop strong connections with others, including students or staff, and only then they will be able to lead and manage along with the colleagues that they are working with. So one more thing I would share is risk taking. I think I have seen many faculties in last 5 years since I got the opportunity to be in the academic world. I have seen the appetite for taking risk is so low that is preventing many people to even experiment with their own thoughts. So I think there's an important action waiting for all the academic leaders. How to take risk. And the risk means whatever you are doing, whatever you are teaching, whatever you are offering to the students, what kind of new things you are experimenting, what kind of new things you are bringing in, what kind of new experiments you are creating with the students. So how effective leaders do that? The problem is they are afraid to take risks when it is required, and that actually hampers the overall mission and the vision that they have to achieve. Without, you go around the world, you go in other great universities that we talk about, you see the faculties, you see the teachers. I have personally seen, because I studied in some of the institutions during my IBM days, I've seen faculties taking risk and asking students to develop something which is absolutely abstract sometimes, and sometimes many things have emerged from that abstractness. You see today, most of the great companies that you today, for example, this Facebook or WhatsApp or Google, or if you go and look at the emergence of these organizations, they have happened in the campus, and only because the risks were taken, the challenges were embraced inside the campus, students were given opportunity to fiddle with the new thoughts, these organizations took birth in the campus, and today we have multi-billionaire worth organizations in the market, all because the academic institutions, the faculties, the teachers were the great risk takers inside the institutions. So I would also say that this academic learning, the faculty development, must also look at the technology part. And that technology part, unless you embrace, you will never be able to succeed, because the world is changing and the technology is enabling that change at the speed and the velocity with which it's going. And the technology is biggest reason for that significant growth. And for that technology, it's also important what you are doing. It must have some data quantification and integrated with the technology. I think if these three things are also embraced by a faculty, it can actually suit the leadership quality of an individual. So last for leaders is, if you are heads of the organization, if you are deans or chairperson, and there are people reporting into you, or there are people who are aligned and working with you, empower your colleagues, give them opportunities to, and pat them, encourage them, recognize what they are doing. I've seen, I think many of our faculties are not trained on how to give feedback to people. Instead of giving feedback, we criticize people, and that's because they lack the skills of giving feedback to their people. I think feedback giving is a great strength of leaders. So that leaders need to learn how to give feedback, how to recognize the efforts of people. Sometimes we do not recognize our people despite they have done the great job, because of some personal biases or ABC things. I think that is also hampering the leadership quality of individuals. I think these faculty development programs should not be taken only because you have to make a tick in the box for your caste promotions or something like that. These leadership development programs must be taken with a purpose that is more visionary and missionary in its endeavor. So with that, I wish you good luck. I think these are great and transformative moments for the institution and for the organization or the individuals. I'm sure such endeavors will definitely bring some purposeful outcomes. Even if 20% of the people who have attended this workshop go and implement at least 20% of what learnings they have had, I think we have done our purpose. And at the end, when we will meet the judgment day, we will have satisfaction that we have delivered a great deal of work and worth to the society. Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you, sir. It's always our pleasure to learn from you. It's like, reading Bhagavad Gita again and again, and every time you read it, you come across a different learning with a different perspective. Thanks for always sharing your blessings by sharing your life-enriched experiences and motivating us in continuous grooming and setting new goals for personal, institutional, and nation growth, sir. Now, I would like to request all the participants for their feedback. If some of the participant is interested, I would like to invite them on behalf of organizing team so they can share their experiences with us. Yeah, there are some members. Professor Suhail Khanji is interested. IT team, please unmute Professor Suhail Khanji. Professor Suhail Ahmed Khanji, please unmute your mic. You are now co-host. You can share by unmuting yourself.
IT team, please check. Professor
Professor
Saab could not.
Suhail-
Professor Saab could not unmute.
Ji.
Please unmute.
Professor Saab, you are a co-host. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, ma'am. Now it's unmuted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chanchal, for providing me this opportunity to give my feedback on the FDP. Although I am too young to give feedback to such learned people. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of all participants of this FDP on leadership and governance in academic institutes, I take this privilege to thank the organizers of this excellent FDP. Believe me, faculty in any higher education institutes are the main resource in improving the competence and quality of their students. We all are too experienced, and we have seen, and it was told in the FDP also, that we are the role models for many of our students. And we, the faculty member, becomes more important when we talk of professional institutes. So in this FDP, the faculty members of various streams were guided to lead their class, their group, their institutes in developing the students as per present need of Skill India. The FDP focused on implementing new education policy, which I was going through, is a paper or a document for next 50-55 years, and the future of our country is in the hands of this new education policy. So it was also very well taken and focused in this FDP. This 1 week FDP had galaxy of experts having vast experience at various positions in higher education. The experience helped the participants to clear their doubts and make the sessions interesting and interactive. The FDP was conducted uninterrupted. The credit of this goes to the organizing committee and the technical team. I express my sincere thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor of Shri Vishwakarma Skill University, Shri Raj Nehru ji, who was always there with us, and he took all the pains to design this FDP and enlighten us on the topics also. I am also thankful to Dr. R.S. Rathore, Registrar Shri Vishwakarma Skill University, and Professor Dr. Rishi Pal, who planned the FDP in an uninterrupted, excellent manner. And my sincere thanks to various coordinators, especially Ms. Chanchal Bharadwaj, who was patient enough in dealing with all the queries and the questions. The technical team, who was always at the back of the camera, and all the members of the organizing team for organizing this motivational FDP. And personally, I would like to mention that I would like to attend such FDPs in future too. And if possible, would like to visit the university, Shri Vishwakarma Skill University, and meet all of you. So on behalf of all the participants, I thank all of you, all the best, and thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your kind, inspiring words and feelings for us, which kept us motivated to do better and better in every session. Now we have Dr. Mithali also. She is also keen to share her valuable experience during this national workshop with us. So I would like to request Dr. Malti ji to share her.
Very good afternoon to Honorable Vice Chancellor, eminent persons, my dear colleagues, invited guests, and all my participants. I am Mrs. Malati from Hyderabad. I take this opportunity to thank entire team of Sri Vishwakarma Skill University for organizing a week FDP on leadership and governance in academic institutions. It was started on 21st with a formal inauguration, and I'm really surprised the effort they have taken in searching the resource persons. Every member, every resource person, they're so unique, distinguished, and they are like a knowledgeable reservoir. The more you take, the more we get. So we are all truly enlightened about the various issues that were covered in the FDP, such as national education policy, value-based economic system, role of leader, teacher, learning. I once again congratulate and thank our VC sir, Dr. Rishpal and Chanchala madam, and all other technical persons for organizing the session so meticulously. I reveal deep appreciation to all the resource persons for taking their valuable time in enlightening us. Lastly, I also appreciate the various participants who have patiently listened to all the 5 days workshop. And I admire how these 5 days have just flew away without even noticing it. And we all are really enlightened with this 5 days workshop. And as our sir has enlightened us that every teacher should be a role model and every teacher has to be a say risk taking, and she should be backbone for the profession. And mainly, we the teachers have to join this only if you have the passion. Passion for teaching, I think it is the main key for success. And I once again congratulate and thank all the team members for this 5-day workshop who have done this so very calculus and meticulously. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you for such lovely, aspiring words, and it will always keep us motivating for doing better in next programs. And we will be looking forward to be with you and more interactions on different platforms.
Definitely, you can also inform us in case if you have such FDPs or any national conference in the future, so that we will definitely participate and enjoy. We truly enjoyed all the 5 days session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So I think there were one of our esteemed participants were also there who was interested in sharing his thoughts, but due to technical problems, he is not here to now join us. And I'm really thankful to all participants for being a wonderful extended family and encouraging continuously us and our morale with inspiring messages in all sessions, including right now also. They are conveying their wonderful feelings, which makes us feel complete that, okay, we have been able to at least deliver something. My, on behalf of the whole organizing team, my heartfelt thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir for unconditional support, guidance, and motivation for all such initiatives from time to time and sharing his enriched insights. Special thanks to Registrar Sahab, Professor R.S. Rathorji, for continuous support and administrative guidance and sharing his expertise and experiences during the session also. Heartfelt thanks to Atal team, AICT team, and Dr. Manu Kapoorji and his team for being with us and kind support from minute to minute. In absentia, I would like to thank all eminent speakers comprising of vice chancellors, administrative officials, registrars, deans, senior consultants for making it a live experiential learning experience and platform for all. Professor Rishi Palji, जिनके बगैर ये प्रोग्राम संभव ही नहीं था, for designing, developing, guiding, and gathering galaxy of star speakers and making it a wonderful milestone in SVSU history of programs. Professor Jyoti Ranaji for her special support in inaugural and sharing her valuable thoughts during her session. All participants for their active participation and being the lifeline of this program. Dr. Ravinderji and his IT team for making this happen uninterrupted. Dr. Rajkumarji and Dr. Mohitji for operational planning and support. All coordinators, Dr. Jayapalji and his media team for wide coverage for all 5 days. Shri Praveenji, social media team for making us reach to thousands and thousands. Dr. Indu for wonderful inaugural and valedictory session coordinator. Dr. Jyoti Saronji and Ms. Pallavi from Sierra Leone for their support as a backend and backbone of this program. Special thanks to Ms. Deepika and Ms. Rani from my department examinations, Mr. Rahul Dio from IT for continuous support for last 5 days, without which it would not be possible for me to take 3 sessions per day parallel to end term examinations at different locations. I'm really thankful for providing me an opportunity and giving me a chance in a galaxy of stars and learning and grooming myself with you all. Thank you.
And thank you to Madam Chanchal for extensively and excellently organizing and conducting this program. Actually, she has already been among all the sessions, and what we planned in the beginning that we will have 3-tier system, and she was on the top. She was the manager, she was the coordinator of this online platform, and behind her there was a big team of number of people. She has taken name of all that, and yes, of course, Dr. Ravinder and his team. I'm thankful to Chanchal Madam. It is because of your support and your team, and because of support of the IT and IT team and all, we could conduct this program successfully. So thank you very much. And yes, special thanks to all the participants. They were patient enough. They were very good listeners, and they supported us to actualize this program as it was planned. So I am really thankful to all the participants. God bless of all of you, and I wish all the best for your future, for your career, for your families. God bless you for everything. Thank you very much.
Thanks for kind words, sir.